Teams here are going to hang around the middle of the map, push back this wave. I thought that if somebody wanted to go for a fight, it would be G2 when they do catch the Vala here early on in this game. Wow. Did not expect that was going to happen here. A big mistake by Fnatic early on.
Yeah, pretty big experience lead. Part of that, of course, is from the minion wave. They did all get hurt to Half-Life, but that's quickly repaired with some Death Coils and Holy Lights and Holy Radiance, so explosive start.
I'm so happy that we see more and more Kerrigan on this map. I really feel like it's the best map by far to go for a Kerrigan. And you know, rotations are so strong, you can come out from this smoke out there in the middle of the map where there's the turning points and just catch somebody, land a combo and kill them every single time.
100% agree. That along with Haunted Mines, great maps for Kerrigan, but that one barely gets played anymore as it's kind of a cheesy, random map. Sonya, Sihu running away for dear life here. The slow totem will actually slow him down. Punish there, condemned by Breeze and Mena adding the damage. Sihu definitely can't get away, but do we get a revenge here for G2? Kerrigan looking to jump in there, but must have a good support system to do so.
Yeah.
And Uther's top lane, so that was impossible.
I think they moved there in position, but they weren't enough. And Lowell actually followed the action as well here. He was ready to throw down if he had to.
Bit of damage there on Joey, slightly too tanky to be taken in so easily. Bobby very reticent to overextend too far in the lane without support.
Yeah, you need to be careful not to let that happen here. Shu at the bottom is actually playing it really slow here. I think he's very aware that he could get caught here potentially, or I mean, you don't have to play aggressive here with the Sonya on the lane like this against a Rhaegar that's not even pushing.
Yeah.
And as I say that, he spins.
Well, he just saw all the heroes at the top lane, right?
Yeah.
So he knows he can safely do that. Clinch those gems potentially. Now he can't anymore though. Saw everyone in the middle so he can. Picks them up, playing very safely. Eager not to repeat the same mistake he made earlier on. Now we've got a 4 versus 4 man rotation. Who's got the better one? We'll find out in 3, 2, 1. Will Kerrigan jump in? Who is she going to jump in on? Breeze taking a lot of damage there. Iron Skin preventing the sweeping grasp from going into effect. Joey here taking a lot of damage on the Arthurs. They'll actually take down Tyrael, but have to now spread out so as to not get hit by his trade. And oh man, that's a 2 for 1.
He blows up Arthas here in the end, and it's a 2-for-1 trade
in favor of G2 there.
Yeah, very nicely done. I wouldn't be surprised if they started going for a turn in here momentarily, as they're going to have enough gems, potentially.
Yeah, we've got a fair amount of gems there. Well, not exactly enough yet, so you could turn them in just for safety or if you have nothing else to do. Sihu pulling back behind the gate. Rhaegar, Kaysil doing the same thing.
Yeah, Kaysil playing it really safe at the bottom, and so is Shiho. Especially after dying on early on in the game, you know, like it's like a wake up call. If you die early on in the game, you're like, all right, no more.
Yeah.
But you cannot tower hug.
Though they say that the easiest way to make a mistake is to think long and hard about the last one you made. So, sports psychology 101. So, kind of just move on there. Bashek, Kerrigan going for the Q build for the clean kill with siphoning impact to keep herself up and prep herself with shields before major engagements.
The full Ravage. Oh, Breeze.
Dodging.
Able to get out of there.
He dodged the Frozen Waste, so still has his Iron Skin there. Nothing too much going on here at the bottom lane. 4 versus 3. Picking up some gems there, very safe with that Iron Skin, but the tower will get taken down by Nikir probably.
Actually, the top was neglected here for a second by G2, so they missed a lot of minions, but they're still a little bit ahead here on experience. That turn in here, I feel like it's probably time for them to go for it, and since they've got a bunch of kill, we don't actually have that many gems. It's like 39 right now on Fnatic, so...
Yeah, they lost a few gems here and there in that fight, on their warriors in particular, when Breeze and the Tyrael player Lowell managed to die there.
Yeah, Breeze, he's actually chasing here Joey. Took quite a bit of damage, but now with those Web Weavers coming into play, I think G2 are just gonna want to look to try and push into this as quickly. Well, that Web Weaver landed in the wrong part here.
Nice Iron Skin once again. Kerrigan combo was already anticipated for Joey there with the Arthas Frozen Waste follow-up. 3 skills to proc Breeze's Johanna trade. Sonya still at the bottom lane. Doesn't want to involve herself in too much action until she's level 10 with that Wrath of the Berserker.
Double cleanse. I mean, both teams here went for cleanse with Uther here on G2 and Rhaegar on Fnatic, making sure that they have that. I guess there is quite a bit of CC, so it's definitely gonna help.
Yeah, it's good on Rhaegar, and for Uther it's like there's not a great alternative, right? Like, are you gonna take Holy Fire? Like, what are you doing in the middle of the enemy?
Exactly, what are you doing?
what are you doing, Tilt, in the middle of the enemy? Get out. So, final Web Weaver there, getting a fort, level 9.6. Not much needed to get level 10 anymore for them, which means that unless they have a fight right now, Fnatic is going to want to play very passive, and it means more gems for G2, more payoffs for G2, and a big gem pile up on the side of Fnatic, which creates a lot of risk if they lose a follow-up fight in the next minute or so. No, you're not doing boss.
I mean, they were very close to level 10. I thought I might just soak that and then go for a turn-in. They were trying to catch someone. I guess a lot of the players here from Fnatic were missing, so maybe G2 thought that Fnatic was going to try something desperate, like to go for a boss this early in the game.
Yeah, okay, they were looking to punish a boss, a risky boss taking. I think it would be a mistake for them to do it themselves, because you're going to give a free turn into Fnatic and allow them back in the game.
I mean, they're level 10 though. They had a little bit of time to do it, but is it really worth it?
Yeah, I've seen it once today earlier. The level 10 team versus 9 went to get the boss and gave a free turn in, and it became even Steven. So level 9.3.
Oh, Black Shake. Looks like he was gonna fly a little bit far here.
We have Army of the Dead, by the way.
Yeah.
No real surprises for the heroics there. We don't know Ring of Frost or Water Elemental yet. Probably gonna be Ring of Frost, but we're gonna have to wait and see as they try and catch up in levels there, Fnatic. It's hard to soak the lanes at this point, isn't it? Especially the mid one, it's risky.
I think both is fine, to be honest. Ring of Frost or a Water Elemental, because against Kerrigan you can kind of turn around and eventually chase her down. Take her out past the Divine Shield, of course, that you can assume he's going to be used on her. A lot of the time, Fnatic, they want to go for a turn in here, but I think G2 have no plan to let that happen.
Yeah, Casio going for 28 gems there. He did manage to pay. Breeze would be all that's needed. We have a Sanctification, by the way, for Tyrio, so pretty hyped to see that come into effect. Try and block out many of those heroics. Mechanics are going to be very key here, Todd.
Yeah, it's going to be actually really hard to pull off, I think. In terms of that Sanctification. Remember that Welling Arrow here, I feel is going to be the key point here for G2 to properly win some of these fights. So it's going to be very important for Fnatic to spread out.
We see pretty good spread here by Fnatic. They're making sure never to clump up too much.
Yeah, except now.
Yeah. Lowell running a little bit low on mana to continue the fight here. Ideally, they would like to just pay, back off and heal up. But actually, G2 gets the payoff at the bottom.
They beat them to it somehow. I guess Sylvanas was down there getting the turn-in herself. They're trying to catch somebody.
Oh! But he's one of the safest heroes to make such mistakes. As is Lowell.
You're gonna have to be careful here, though. This could actually...
This could turn ugly for G2.
They went very far here. The Strafe did so much damage. And now a bunch of the heroes here of G2 find themselves in Nerf. Leo from Korea is taking so much damage from that 4 here.
And he was getting slowed for a while.
Oh my god.
I think they should just jump on this. 2 people with half-life. Wubby with the flank, Ziku with the counter flank, chasing Wubby there. Has he seen him?
There was no judgment. That's so funny. Like when Tyrael was chasing and he has Sanctification.
Whoa, kind of an early Ancestral. That's kind of awkward.
Sanctification if he can. Welling Arrow hits big time here on Fnatic.
And we see a lot of takedowns there. Actually, 1 on each side. It was kind of a messy fight. Joey very low there. Didn't have Army of the Dead already. It's a 1-for-1. Not too bad there. Fnatic was hoping for a little bit more of that, but they got that really early Ancestral healing and were then unable to save Vala. I think Johanna had like 70% life or so, but they misjudged the amount of damage that she would be taking.
In the meantime, though, those Web Weavers, they got to work. Clear the entire waves. The wall is actually down here at the top, as well as one of the towers. And G2 in a fantastic position. Look at the walls of G2. They've barely lost any hit points. Yeah, it's like as close to a perfect as you're ever gonna see here so far.
Yeah, their town is looking really good, as if there was a mule on their team, but there is not. So we have
not much the boss here.
Lots of gems, by the way, on Johanna and Tyrael. But they don't seem to be able to pay. Always trailing behind a little bit against that early and mid-game advantage that Kerrigan and Arthur's offered. And a great play by G2.
both Arthas and Uther went for the spell shield here against the Jaina, wanting to make sure they don't take too much damage from her. In this case, G2, they're gonna exploit here their leads by stealing the Bruiser camp right before the eyes here of Fnatic, who just, I guess they can only feel powerless about it and do nothing.
Yeah, and the way to force a fight when you're talent up, you have to put pressure on the fortifications. The enemy isn't going to march out of the gate when they've got these nice ramparts to hide behind. Kerrigan there with the attempted pull in did not work, so there's a small window where she doesn't have her combo. They're going to jump in. But still realize no level 13 talent can have to go back. No Iron Skin anymore. Breeze is going to get taken down. Can he get Ancestral Healings on time? No, he cannot. Beautiful Wailing Arrow there by Sylvanas. And there we go with the Ancestral on Wabi, on the Vala, giving his own life in the process. The true heart of a support. But as it stands, 3 takedowns, and this is terrible. That's a guaranteed easy free keep kill. Lovely play by G2.
You could tell here that Fnatic went through some miscommunication. They wanted to go forward the fight, and then probably somebody screamed that no, we are level 12. We are missing 1 talent here before we go for the fight, and then it was already too late.
Yeah.
Johanna gets caught, no Iron Skin as you mentioned, and then she's actually still barely gonna go down when Iron Skin is missing, and then from there it's only downhill.
Yeah, without that powerful frontline control, they were unable to withstand the powerful tidal wave that flew over them from that Kerrigan-Sylvanas combination. Breeze now, anger, hungry for blood, wants to get a bit of a counterattack there. Uther doesn't have Divine Shield, but there's far too little CC and damage to take him down. And now we're looking at level 16 soon for G2.
Yeah, they're just in a fantastic position here. They just have to make sure that they get this before any kind of fight. They want to make sure that they interrupt Ruby from turning in.
Strafe being used by Vala, adding a lot of damage on Arthas, and Sylvanas gonna go in for the kill there. Divine Shield will be used as everyone runs away with a shred of life. Rather fortunate for G2, because that would have been a great comeback potential for Fnatic. Now they're gonna come back in with Healing Fountain buff, which unfortunately Fnatic do not have the luxury of tapping into, so they're gonna have to give ground here as level 16 is looming on the very near horizon. They're gonna pull back.
It finally looked here like Fnatic were gonna be able to win a fight, but with the Divine Shield last again here on the Arthas, he gets out, taps the fountain, and then behind this,
hey guys,
G2,
I'm back.
Yeah, they're right back into it. 51 gems here have been turned in already. I'm pretty sure they're gonna want to make sure here that Fnatic don't get their own turn in, and even kill them, punish them for being out on the map, and then potentially go for their own turn in here. Will G2.
Kerrigan deciding who her next prey is going to be. She will heal up a little bit of shields there on that wave. 9 more gems is what's needed. They've got 9, which is great.
Yeah, that level 16 against 13 is just brutal here. We have Benediction that was picked here on the Uther here, aggressive defense on the Kerrigan.
They're baiting the boss. They're showing that they have taken the boss. You pay, the boss is still available, it means that they're there. Breeze takes the bait and will get taken out almost immediately, but the Ancestral Healing will save him. Wailing Arrow hitting 2 people, too late to prevent Cassil from the Ancestral Healing. Wabi adding a lot of damage. Breeze is able to make a getaway. Divine Shield already used. Beautiful Ring of Frost there, rooting Kerrigan in place, but still there's too much damage. There's not enough mana and sustain and staying power for Fnatic. They're gonna have to pull back, and they'll count themselves very lucky to even just survive. No! Oh, the Sylvanas dagger adding enough damage on Jaina and took her out. Kind of a surprise.
I think he got envenomed.
What's that?
I think he got envenomed, so like it looked like he had the poison on him.
It looked like he had enough life to heal himself at the Healing Fountain. It looked positive already, but I don't know. He took some unexpected damage, probably envenom. And the combination of that dagger from Sylvanas.
That was a poor engagement, to be honest, by Johanna. She went in there too early.
Yeah, she got baited.
Yeah.
They're showing, hi, we are taking a very comfortable boss after capturing the Web Weavers. And Johanna feels like she can check with impunity, but did not use a shield glare to check the bush. And even though you have Iron Skin, you proc it too soon. You don't provide the full value for your team anymore.
And then behind this, even though it looked like Fnatic, they might have a chance. They're just gonna crumble. Now they're all alive, but I mean, level 17, close to 18 against just 14 for now for Fnatic.
They're gonna be almost 4 levels down.
They just smashed completely here through this game.
3 keeps down against completely unblemished gates, as you pointed out before. And now, how do you win this game as G2? Well, you don't really need to do anything, actually. You just get camps and don't fight. That's it. Don't get caught stupidly. Stay together as 5. Roam together as 5 and do the waves. Don't really need to finish it off. I'm a little surprised that they're trying to get a kill here I feel like it's unnecessary. It's possible maybe, but maybe unnecessarily risky.
I mean, we're being up here 3 levels and 1 talent.
Did you see that dagger? It was a bit weird. I mean, the Hungering Arrow from Valla very slowly chased the Sylvanas.
I can't believe G2 barely lost any hit points here on their structures. This is ridiculous. Like that top wall, the weak link of
What did you do, man? Where were you when this happened?
Your defense was terrible.
Yeah.
Oh,
I expect a Reddit thread about that. How did you get your gate damaged? Now a desperate gambit here by Fnatic, checking
Breeze
the boss.
again, oh my god, in the same spot!
Oh no, that's gonna give him nightmares tonight.
Oh,
Ancestral healing will
time, but I mean,
save him, but
that's such a poor engagement regardless to have to use this before they've done any single damage. Fnatic, go for it. They're not even level 16 yet, they're about to.
And the Ring of Frost doing a lot of damage there already. Johanna will get taken out, no more Iron Skin. Wubby misses the Hungering Arrow, but would it really matter? Too much damage, too much oomph used for Fnatic already going into that fight as really for no effort at all almost for G2. And now they're going to take the boss for the safest possible finish.
That was really weird again by Breeze to go so deep, and in the end, you know, you can say all you want, he has Iron Skate, he got Ancestral Healing, sure, but that was before his team started dealing any kind of damage. Fnatic desperately here is going to try to get back in there to try and get a big snipe on some of these heroes here from G2, who just completely turn around and smash everybody on their path there. Nico is actually chasing Kessel.
Loa gonna try another holy ground steal there for the boss, but that's not gonna work. And this was pretty much a catch-22. They let the boss happen, they lose. They try to capture the boss, they lose. And they decided to do the most exciting thing. And did not manage.
Lowell's gonna fall here as well, and Gamers 2 with a very convincing here. Map number 2. I mean, map number 1, to be honest, they could have maybe finished it. You know, it was very close when they did go for the core. Just one single missed call.
Yeah, you could say they were probably winning both games, but messed up in game 1.
Yeah.
And now they didn't. Not as easy to finish on Cursed Hollow as on this map, where you've got this great boss, the Web Weavers, and game has already been called. The rest is theatrics.
I've never seen a Johanna die this much.